I once again welcome you to our YouTube channel revisionug.com, and our website is revisionug.com. Also, please subscribe, share and follow. Okay, so I am Hakim, your teacher, and we are going through our science primary 6 term 1, and our theme is world of living organisms or world of living things. In the previous lesson, in the previous video, we looked at classification. What does that term mean? We looked at the kingdoms, and said we have 5 kingdoms, where we looked at the animal kingdom, the protoctista kingdom, fungi, monera, and also what we call the plant kingdom. So mainly in this lesson, in the previous lesson, we looked at the animal kingdom, and we said that this animal kingdom is divided into 2 major classes: the class of vertebrates and also the class of invertebrates. We said that vertebrates, for them, they have a backbone, and this backbone is important is to protect the spinal cord. And again, we say these vertebrates, they have a brain case. They have to be with the brain case. They have to be with an endoskeleton. Their bodies are bilaterally symmetrical. And again, we say that these vertebrates are further classified into 2: the warm-blooded class and the cold-blooded class, whereby we said warm-blooded is also called the homoeothermic, whereas the cold-blooded is called the poikilothermic in the previous video. So please, if you do not see the previous video, I urge you to just go and get it. That is revisionug.com. So now today we are now starting with the warm-blooded vertebrates, whereby we said warm-blooded vertebrates or warm-blooded animals, these are the animals with a constant body temperature, and we said their temperature is kept constant because their life processes are controlled by enzymes. Do you know enzymes? Enzymes are chemical compounds found within the bodies of these animals, and these enzymes are the ones carrying out or maintaining or altering the chemical life processes inside there. And these enzymes, for them to work or to make these processes function well, they need what we call an optimum temperature. So the temperature shouldn't be too high and shouldn't be too low. That's why we always say the normal body temperature of a human being is always at 37 degrees Celsius, but it ranges from 35 to 37. It has to be maintained there. Why? This is the optimum temperature that is needed by the enzymes to maintain the life processes like digestion of food, respiration, and so on. That's why we are saying warm-blooded vertebrates must be with a constant body temperature, so they have to maintain it constant. And again, we say these warm-blooded animals are divided into 2: 1, the class of birds, and also the class of mammals. Now in this lesson, we are now going to look at mainly birds. All right, I think you have ever seen birds, you have ever seen them, you have ever kept one, you see them fly. So now we are going to look at them in details. Alright, so let us first start with the features or the characteristics of birds. The characteristics of birds, the things that make birds be called birds, or the things that make birds to be called birds, not mammals. 1, when we look at those birds, they are warm-blooded. So these birds are warm-blooded, meaning that their temperature is maintained constant. And again, apart from that one, these birds, they are vertebrates. Obviously they have a backbone. Then these birds, they have what we call an endoskeleton. Their bones are found inside their bodies. Then these birds, what covers their bodies? Oh, these birds, their bodies are covered with feathers. Oh gosh, their bodies are covered with the feathers. Now these birds, they have beaks, and these beaks are horny. So these birds, they have horny beaks, meaning that the beak is sharp at the end. So without teeth, they don't have teeth like us. So these birds, they have beaks that are horny without teeth. And now these birds, they have what we call a streamlined body. Wow, yeah, they have a streamlined body. So their bodies are streamlined, meaning that their bodies are pointed forward and backwards. So this is pointed forward, and here it is also pointed backwards. This is what we call a streamlining or streamlined. So they have streamlined bodies. Remember, these birds move by flying, and as they are flying within air. So as they are flying within air, so even this air is moving. So if the bird is flying going this way, then the air is going this way, then we are going to have what we call an opposition. And that opposition is what we call resistance, and that is air resistance. Then scientifically, this air resistance is called viscosity. Now that's why these birds are streamlined, such that as they are flying, this air will just pass over, and then the bird will just move smoothly. So these birds are streamlined in order to reduce air resistance or to reduce viscosity. Alright, and now these birds are living organisms, and we said living things, they respire. So these birds breathe using lungs. So birds use lungs to breathe. And again, these birds they reproduce, and the way they reproduce by laying eggs. These birds reproduce by means of laying eggs, and these eggs must be fertilized. And now, which type of fertilization do these birds have? These birds have what we call an internal fertilization. They have what? They have an internal fertilization. Remember, fertilization is the union of a male gamete and a female gamete to make a zygote. For example, a cock or a rooster produces sperms, then a hen produces the ovum. Now this sperm will meet the ovum to make an embryo or a zygote, which will turn to be a chick later on. So birds, they have an internal fertilization. Then these birds have two pairs of limbs. They have two pairs of limbs. They have two pairs of limbs, and their four limbs are modified into wings, what could be called hands. They are just modified into the wings, papara. So they use them to do what? To fly. So their four limbs are modified into wings, and they have two pairs of limbs. Then they have two legs and two wings. So what could be the four hands? They are just modified into wings. And again, these birds provide care for their young ones. So they give care to their young ones. After laying eggs, they hatch, then they get their nestlings. They have to provide care to their nestlings. So, and again, these birds, they have what we call scales on their legs. If you look at those hens there at home, when you look at their legs are scary, so they have scales on their legs. That's why these birds, they can settle or they can stand on electric wires minus being shocked by electricity, because they have scales, and these scales are acting as insulators. But when you touch there, then you can be shocked by that electricity, because your hands are not scary, and again they are conductors. They can allow a current to pass through you, then you die. And once even these birds land badly, and once these wires just get into contact with their bodies, they can be shocked. But once they just land on them using their legs have scales, so they cannot be shocked. Then these birds have hearts, because they have blood, and the blood must be pumped. Then they have the heart, and the heart has four chambers, has four divisions. So they have four chambered hearts. So they have four chambered hearts. So anything with these characteristics, it is meant to be called a bird. Alright, so let us move on and see parts of birds here. So let us look at parts of a bird. So here we are having a rooster. It is a cock. This one a rooster. Then when you look at this one, it has this one, it's the cob, and again it has these ones down. So those ones are called the wattles. So the difference between this hen and this cock and a hen is that when you look at the comb, this comb here, the comb is big, and for the hen the comb is just small. When you look at this wattle, it has a big wattle, whereas this one has a small wattle. Now this one is a tail, so a cock has a long tail, whereas a hen has a short tail. Then these ones are what you call feathers. Its body is covered with the feathers, and now these ones are quill feathers at the tail. So those ones are called quill feathers at the tail. Now this one is the wing. Even the wing has quill feathers, so this one's the wing, which helps it to fly. Then this one is the beak, and the beak is honey. So this is a beak, or this is a honey beak. Then again, here this is the eye, and their eyes are protected by what we call the nictitating membrane, the three membranes that cover their eyes. Then here it has what we call the eardrum. So for them, they don't have the pinna. We shall see the reason as why they don't have the pinna. Actually, the reason as why these birds don't have the pinna is to avoid a disturbance in airflow when they are flying. If now the pinna are there, these earlobes are there. When the bird is flying, suppose this is our bird flying, then it has the ears, the pinna like this. When it is flying, there is air resistance. Now this air it will experience a lot of air resistance because of this pinna. They will affect the flow of air, thus it will be disturbed in its movements. That's why it is not having the pinna, in order to avoid air flow disturbances. So they have them there. Now they have the leg. So this one is the leg, and it has two legs. Then these legs are scaly, they have scales on them. Then this one is the toe. Then on the top we are having the talon. So the talon or the claw. So we don't call them fingernails. We don't call them nails or fingernails. This one's just the talon or a claw, for scratching, or to scratch, or to grip. To grip means to hold, to scratch or to grip anything. And again, here we have this part, and this part is called the spur, and this spur is there for protection. It provides defense, protection, and mainly on cocks this spur is just big. So a cock has a big spur for defense mechanism, whereas these hens, for them, they have small ones, they have small spurs. Alright, my dear learner, once again I welcome you and I thank you for choosing Revision Uganda as your #1 revision site. Please subscribe, follow, and share. Please, our website, it's revisionug.com. I remain Akim. We meet in the next lesson, where we shall be looking at where we shall be looking at reproduction and feathers in birds.